Hey gang, it's Steph. It's the end of the year of 2018. I'm going to be going over some of the games I played this year and some of the ones I liked, talk about some of the ones I didn't like, so on and so forth. So let's do it. First up is Elder Scrolls Online. By the way, none of these games are in particular order. But Elder Scrolls Online was really fun. I really enjoyed it. The questing is very immersive. Sadly, a couple of friends and we looked up some of the in-game rating and the loot that you get from there. And, you know, it just didn't really scratch that itch, if you will. I will say, when I first played ESO, it really did kind of scratch that old school itch, you know, that EverQuest, Pantheon, Rise of the Fallen itch. But other than that, it's a great game. It's free to play if you don't want to loot things and run out of inventory constantly. But that's another story. But what keeps me coming back to ESO is the PvP. I love Battlegrounds. I love jumping in. So that's kind of where this game stands for me. I'll just log in, do a couple of Battlegrounds, and that's about it. But other than that, it's not a bad game. Especially if you like the PvP, and that's what I like to do. So that's basically ESO for me, is just jump in and PvP. Speaking of PvP, For Honor. I enjoyed For Honor, I really did. The only complaint is that it got a little repetitive. Not much communication, so that kind of drove me nuts. But Steam puts this game on sale fairly often for fairly cheap. I think I spent 14-15 bucks for the game. The March and Fire update just came out. I logged on last night, tried to get a few rounds in, and I was completely confused. But other than that, it's fun. But I think it'll get a little old if you don't have some friends to play it with. And that's just my opinion. So, moving on. So throughout 2018, some of the BattleAxe crew, we were trying to scratch that MMO itch, and we also dabbled for a hot minute with Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 was pretty good. I gotta say, the game, as far as graphics, looks amazing. Some of the mechanics that they use, as far as questing, A+ on that. I mean, you're questing, and then you go to point A and do this mission. Then next thing, you have a lookout point you gotta collect, and then you have all these other side missions, and then it just synergized really well. And before you know it, you've seen the whole entire zone. You've killed probably every mob type in the zone. So it was a really neat way for you to see all the content in each zone. And it doesn't feel like work, if you know what I mean. Like, you're just going about your business, and you see this, oh, I better grab that, I better do this, and at the end of it, you get a big bonus of XP. It was really cool. But once we got to in-game, things just started to kind of fall apart. I mean, same thing with ESO. But I will say, if you're waiting for Pantheon, if you're waiting for Ashes of Creation, or if you're taking a break from WoW, whatever game you play, if you have some downtime, Guild Wars 2 is worth picking up. It was a lot of fun. This is one of the rare games that I will say the community is super nice. I don't think I ever ran into the whole entire time, and that says a lot. You know, it's one of those. I think a lot of the old school MMOs players went to Guild Wars 2 because, you know, they preach it. You know, it's not about the end game, it's about the journey. So, and we had a lot of fun. But like I said, once we got to end game, it just wasn't doing it for us. Maybe we just didn't have the patience. The whole Battle Axe crew right now kind of has game ADD. You know, we're just kind of waiting, and we just dabble with games here and there, and move on to the next one to see what we really want to play. But Guild Wars 2, I recommend it, especially if you're bored, looking for an MMO to play. It's a lot of fun. Okay, before we move on, I just want to point something out. Here at BattleAxe, we support great games that have a good development team. Pantheon Rather the Fallen, I don't know if you guys are new to the channel, but we try to build that hype. We also post some unpopular opinions at sometimes, but that's not the case. Pantheon has a really good development team, and this next game, one of my girlfriends actually develops. Her name is Rebecca Ford. Hey, Rebecca. Just kidding. That's not true. I'm probably going to get in trouble. Anyway, Warframe. This game, first off, has to have one of the best team of devs out there. They listen to you. They have weekly streams. They have several streams a week, depending on what platform you play on. But this game is completely free, completely full of customization. I mean, I'm talking from your class abilities to the look of your frames to the look of your weapons. It is amazing. Warframe is a shooter looter, so you're going to run into the same scenery a lot. But it's all about that loot. It's all about that grind. And, you know, I often run into the issue of logging on and not knowing what to do because there's so much to do. You know, I get on and it's like, do I want to kill Eidolons? Do I want to do some open world quests or bounties? Do I want to farm Indo? Do I want to farm credits? Do I want to break open relics? You know, it's just, there's so much to do for a free-to-play game. So, I can't recommend Warframe enough. And I know there's a lot of, you know, Destiny 2, Warframe, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. That doesn't matter. This game is free to play. You have nothing to lose. I can't recommend it enough. So, check out Warframe. The devs are great. You'll get treated well. You don't have to spend a dime. If you don't like it, just uninstall it. Easy as that. If you guys decide to pick up Warframe for free, we do have beginner guides on our channel, so be sure to check those out. They'll help you out a lot on getting started. This next game, I really love. I play it when I have my morning coffee. I play it when I'm bored or don't want to get into something that's going to take several hours of my time. It's kind of one of those jump in and get out type games that's a lot of fun. And it's called Overwatch. No, that's wrong. Paladins. It's Paladins. Yes, I know. Paladins copied Overwatch, blah, 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 blah. But unless you actually play Paladins, I gotta argue with you. I mean, I get it. Some of the characters have the same animations and some of the same abilities as a lot of the classes in Paladins. But at the same time, Paladins works on a little bit of a different system. So you have, it works more of like a MOBA. And what I mean by that is you have abilities to spend points on. As you earn points in the game, you can spend points on certain abilities to kind of give you that advantage once you're inside the game. There is an auto select, an auto buy, if you will, but that doesn't matter. I mean, I played Overwatch. I played the beta. I was ready for Overwatch when it came out. When it did come out, I played it for a good year and a half, and I was pumped. But some of my friends didn't have Overwatch, so they wanted to try Paladins, and I tried it, and I rarely went back to Overwatch. I do go back from time to time, but and this could be a whole rant video in the future, possibly, but I just think Paladins is so much better than Overwatch in the terms of customization and just the thrill of winning the match. I mean, I'm gonna get a little hate for this one, but I don't care. Paladins is a game I played in 2018, and it's a game I really enjoyed. So It's also free, so check it out. I don't know what else to say. So one of the last games I want to mention for 2018 is Vermintide 2. Now I don't get to play Vermintide 2 a whole lot because it's very dependent on your team. And it's not one of those games, in my opinion, that you can log on and get randos and expect to do well, although that's happened a lot for me. But when it doesn't happen, it really grinds your gears, you know what I mean? But it's a very team dependent game. It's a very team choreographed game, and it's very unforgiving. It's more forgiving than Vermintide 1, but it's very unforgiving in the sense that you have one player run off by himself. You know, you're dead. You're toast. It's game over. But I think that's part of the draw to Vermintide 2 is that you gotta depend on your buddies and you gotta work together. So I just wanted to give this game a quick shout out. I was a big fan of Vermintide 1. I'm a big fan of Vermintide 2. I love the talent system they put in place. It's a really good game, and Steam does put this game on sale quite often. As of recording this video, it may be on sale for the winter sale. So be sure to check it out. Look up some gameplay on YouTube and see if it's a game for you in 2019. Last game on my list for 2018, games I played. Maybe a shock to some people, may not be to people that are regulars to the channel, but it is Project 99, EverQuest Project 1999. And we've been playing for a couple of weeks now, a few weeks maybe. And we play when we can. And it's been a breath of fresh air. I always like to use that term because it kind of kicks you in the nuts. It's kind of like, hey, you ain't got no maps. It's foggy in the zone. You can't see 10 feet ahead of you, so you got to be careful. My only complaint is, so recently we got into Crushbone, and that was a task getting there. But there's some people that have never played EverQuest, right? So they're just running willy-nilly and pulling whatever orcs, and I don't even think they're conning things. That's not the case. That's up to us to like help teach people. But that can be frustrating when you lose XP and you have to run to your body and blah blah blah. But other than that, we're loving it. Punk is playing a bard, I'm playing a paladin. And it's just been a ton of fun. There's a lot of people on. That is the most mind-blowing thing. In fact, we were conversating in a group, and someone said that they've never seen Project 99 this big. So I think because of the Pantheon hype and the other game that's basically doing Ultimate Online with the new version of it, if you will. That's a future video. Anyway, I think with all these old school type games coming up, that EverQuest 99 is getting a lot of hype, and I couldn't be more excited for it. In fact, this is one of the only games right now, currently at this moment in time, this is the game that I wish I had more time to come home and play, because I'm just itching to get high level. I want to do some of these old school raids, but it's been a lot of fun, and this would be my number one actually of 2018, because this is the game that is wanting me to play more. So anyway, EverQuest Project 99, check it out. So guys, I said at the beginning of the video I'd mention videos I didn't like, and two stick out in mind. One being Skyforge. Check out this footage of us questing. Definitely gonna be my next rant video, I'm just saying, so be prepared for that. Next game that I've given multiple chances and I just can't do it, Tera. Tera, I'm not gonna spend a lot of time talking about. It had potential. It was basically a WoW clone. When it hit the US, it was It was pretty popular. It's big on the PvP, which I never got to check out. But the immersion was just kind of thrown out the window as soon as I had people running up on unicorns and cop cars and taxi cars and people. I don't mind the half-naked people, but when it's just all you see, it just kind of is. I can't take the game seriously, and I want to take an MMORPG seriously, and that's just me. Maybe a rant video coming out, I'm not sure, but for sure on Skyforge, the same thing. The immersion was just kind of threw out the window, and there's a lot wrong with Skyforge, but Tera and Skyforge are my did not like in 2018. So that's what the BattleAxe crew has been up to this year. Checking out all these MMOs and Warframe, and there's a couple of games I didn't mention, MapleStory 2, Black Desert Online, but we are looking forward to 2019, and I think you guys are sticking with this. In fact, next week I should have a video out dedicated to all the people that have liked and followed and shared our videos. We read every comment, and we thank you for all the feedback, even if it's negative. That's what we like to do. We like to start conversations. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a great 2019.